Let me start with a story. A real traveler's story. Picture this. It's 7:30 in the morning at Orlando International Airport. A 72-year-old gentleman, let's call him Frank, is headed to see his grandkids in Denver. He's dressed the way most seniors travel. Slacks, cardigan, comfortable walking shoes. He's not some reckless college kid. He's not causing trouble. He's just a grandfather trying to make a flight. But when Frank reaches the TSA checkpoint, something unusual happens. He's pulled aside. His bag is flagged, and suddenly, he's surrounded by officers asking questions he never imagined he'd have to answer. Why? Because of a grooming kit. Not a weapon. Not drugs. Not even liquids over the limit. Just the same small grooming kit he's been carrying in his travel bag for decades. Clippers, a nail file, a tiny pair of scissors he swore he'd packed in checked luggage but accidentally slipped into his carry-on. The agents weren't amused. One called over a supervisor. Another swabbed the bag for chemical residue. Frank explained, "It's just my toiletry set. I've had it for years." But they weren't listening. Within minutes, he was escorted away from the checkpoint while passengers behind him whispered and stared. And here's the thing. His story didn't end with a polite warning. It went much further. Do you really want to know how the story of the senior arrested for transporting a grooming kit ended? Stick with me because by the time we get to number 10 on this list, you'll see exactly what happened to Frank. Son? Now, let's get into it. Because Frank's case isn't just a one-off. In 2025, TSA has expanded its list of restricted items, and a lot of them are things ordinary seniors carry every single day. If you don't know the rules, you could be the next Frank. So let's go through the 10 surprising things TSA is taking in 2025 plus one bonus rule. Along the way, I'll circle back to Frank's story. Number 1. Nail clippers and grooming kits. This is where Frank's nightmare began. Back in the 60s and 70s, every man had a grooming kit. A leather case with a few essentials, nail clippers, tweezers, scissors, maybe a small file. Perfectly innocent, right? Not anymore. In 2025, TSA has cracked down. Clippers with sharp edges, scissors with blades over half an inch. Even certain metal nail files are classified as sharp objects. And while some agents wave them through, others don't. What does this mean for you? It means what used to be a harmless habit, keeping your grooming kit in your carry-on, could now get your bag flagged, searched, or worse. And for seniors who don't see as well or don't hear the agent's instructions, the situation can escalate quickly, just like it did for Frank. Do you really want to know how Frank's arrest unfolded? Hang on, we'll get there. No? Number 2. Bluetooth speakers. Think back, remember traveling with a transistor radio? Or maybe a cassette Walkman in the 80s? Music has always been part of travel. Now, seniors like bringing along Bluetooth speakers for hotel rooms or family gatherings. But here's the catch. The lithium batteries inside them. If the watt-hour isn't clearly marked, TSA often pulls them. There was a case of a woman in Phoenix who had her speaker taken because the battery label was worn off. A 200 speaker gone in seconds. Lesson? If you love your tunes, bring a small, clearly labeled speaker or use your phone and headphones. Son. Number 3. Knitting needles and crochet hooks. This one breaks hearts. Many seniors bring knitting for long flights. It's relaxing. It passes time. It keeps the hands busy. But now, TSA has started cracking down. Long metal needles? Confiscated. Some crochet hooks, especially the steel ones, pulled. Bamboo and plastic are sometimes allowed, but not always. I even heard of one woman who had her half-finished blanket taken because the needles were still attached. Imagine losing weeks of work right at the gate. So here's the advice. Pack plastic tools, keep a small project, and check the rest. Number 4. Travel pillows with hidden zippers. Once upon a time, a travel pillow was just foam around your neck. Now, many have hidden compartments. Some even market themselves as secret stash, pillows for money or medicine. Problem is, TSA scanners see those compartments as suspicious. If they can't immediately identify what's inside, they may cut it open or confiscate it. So keep it simple. The pillow is for comfort. not for hiding things. 揉茧. Number 5. Keychain multi-tools. You know the kind, tiny Swiss Army knife on your keys, a bottle opener, maybe a screwdriver. They feel harmless. But TSA sees them as weapons. Even the tiniest blade gets pulled. And if it's on your keys, you risk losing your entire keychain. Imagine landing at your destination without your house keys. That's the reality travelers are facing. Fun. Number 6. Portable fans. These little handheld fans are a lifesaver in hot airports, but they run on batteries, and some of those batteries aren't TSA approved. If the wattage isn't marked, the fan could get tossed. I've even heard of grandmothers traveling to Florida who lost fans they bought at Disney World brand new, still in the box because they didn't have clear labels. Better to buy a cheap one at your destination. Leo. Number 7. Over-the-counter creams and gels. This is a big one for seniors. Muscle rubs, arthritis cream, Vicks, medicated ointments. The problem? They count as liquids. If the container is bigger than 3.4 ounces, or if it's unlabeled, it can be seized. Picture this. You're in pain. You depend on that cream for relief, and it's tossed in the trash. Solution: buy travel-size versions. Keep them in your clear liquid bag, and bring a doctor's note if possible. Number 8. Shoe inserts and insoles. This one sounds bizarre, but it's real. Some orthopedic insoles have gel or metal supports inside. On an X-ray, they look suspicious. Several seniors have reported TSA pulling their shoes apart, swabbing insoles, or confiscating spares. The fix? Wear them in your shoes, not packed separately. Tanong. Number 9. Electronic massagers. Neck massagers, vibrating foot rollers, handheld devices. Many seniors rely on them. But if they use lithium batteries, they're on TSA's radar. If they aren't labeled or removable, they could be seized. And once again, it's often up to the agent's judgment. Number 10. Flashlights. This one's surprising. Flashlights, especially tactical or high-powered LED ones, are being flagged. The lithium batteries, the size, even the look. If it resembles law enforcement gear, it might not fly. Stick to small, clearly labeled flashlights, and only in your carry-on. Bonus rule: bulky jackets and layered clothing. Here's one you don't expect. In 2025, TSA has started flagging passengers who wear oversized coats or multiple layers. They claim it hides body shape and makes screening harder. So if you like traveling in your warmest coat, be prepared to take it off. Better yet, pack it in your carry-on until you're through security. Now, back to Frank. Remember our 72-year-old grandfather? The one pulled aside for carrying a grooming kit? Here's what happened. When agents found his scissors, they treated it as a violation. Frank tried to explain, but the situation escalated. His hearing aid made it hard to follow instructions. His nervousness made agents think he was hiding something. Within minutes, he was handcuffed. Not because he was a threat, but because he wasn't reacting the way TSA wanted him to. They led him through the terminal, past other travelers staring, into a back room for questioning. Hours passed. He missed his flight. His daughter in Denver, waiting at the airport, had no idea where he was. Finally, after all that, they let him go. No charges, no record. But he walked out, humiliated, shaken, and still without his grooming kit. And you know what he said afterward? "I've been flying for 50 years. I served in the Air Force. I never thought I'd be treated like a criminal for carrying nail clippers." That's the reality of flying in 2025. Your takeaway: if it could happen to Frank, it could happen to anyone. Seniors, especially, because we tend to travel with medical items, comfort items, grooming tools, the very things TSA is now targeting. So here's the bottom line. Back smart. Double-check the latest TSA rules. Don't assume yesterday's harmless is still harmless today. And if you don't want to end up like Frank, watch this list again before you fly. So, which of these surprised you most? Have you ever had something taken that you thought was perfectly innocent? Leave your story in the comments. I read every single one, and your experience might help another senior traveler avoid the same mistake. And listen carefully: if you don't subscribe right now, you're giving TSA the upper hand. Subscribe if you want to keep flying free, without limitations, without humiliations, without the risk of losing your belongings at the checkpoint. Until next time, travel safe, travel smart, and don't let TSA steal your freedom to fly. Ho,